The space between stars was quiet and cold. The ship named Harmony Seeker moved slowly through this darkness. Commander Zix stood on the bridge, his 4 eyes blinking at different times as he watched the stars. "Commander, we have found something strange," said Officer Vrel, her tentacles moving quickly over the control panel. "Unknown signals from an unmapped area." Zix moved closer. The Galactic Union had mapped most of the galaxy, but there were still places no one had visited. "Show me." The screen lit up with a blue and green planet circling an average yellow star. Nothing special at first glance, just another world among billions. "Run the standard tests," ordered Zix. Vrel pressed several buttons. The ship's computers began to analyze the planet. The bridge crew waited quietly as information appeared on the screen. Then a red warning flashed. The crew gasped. "This cannot be right," whispered Vrel. "Check again." The computer ran the tests 3 more times. The result stayed the same. Class 13 Deathworld. "Impossible," said Zix. In his 200 years of space exploration, he had never seen such a classification. Class 5 worlds were dangerous enough, with harsh weather and aggressive animals. Class 9 worlds were considered nearly uninhabitable, but Class 13. Such worlds were only mentioned in ancient stories. Yet there it was, looking peaceful and blue from space. "Are there signs of intelligent life?" asked Zix. "Yes, Commander. They have basic space travel capabilities. They have visited their moon and sent simple machines to nearby planets." Zix made a decision that would change galactic history. "We will make contact." His second-in-command, Officer Krell, stepped forward. "Commander, the rules say we should avoid Class 10 worlds or higher." "I know the rules," said Zix. "But look at this world. It seems peaceful, and I want to know why it carries such a dangerous rating." The Harmony Seeker moved closer to Earth. They watched the planet's broadcasts and learned its main languages. After 1 Earth week, they sent a message to the planet's governments. The humans were surprised but not unprepared. For years, they had wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer. NASA quickly prepared a meeting place in the desert of New Mexico. World leaders chose 2 representatives to meet the aliens first, Captain Alan Crawford and Dr. Susan Miller. Captain Crawford was a tall man with short brown hair and calm blue eyes. He had flown fighter jets before becoming an astronaut. Dr. Miller was shorter, with dark skin and quick hands. She had studied possible alien life for 15 years. "Are you nervous?" Crawford asked as they waited at the landing site. Miller smiled. "Of course. Aren't you?" "A little," he admitted, "but mostly curious. Why us? Why now?" Their conversation stopped as a silver light appeared in the sky. The alien ship was smaller than they expected, about the size of a passenger airplane. It landed softly on the desert floor, barely disturbing the sand. For 1 minute, nothing happened. Then a door opened in the side of the ship. The aliens that walked out surprised both humans. They were almost human-shaped, but with blue-green skin and 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern. What shocked Crawford and Miller was not how the aliens looked, but what they wore. Thick protective suits that covered their entire bodies. 3 aliens approached slowly. The one in front stopped 10 feet away and spoke in perfect English. "I am Commander Zix of the Galactic Union. We come in peace and curiosity." Crawford stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth. I'm Captain Alan Crawford, and this is Dr. Susan Miller." Zix upper eyes blinked. "We are pleased to meet you, though we must ask. Are you aware that your world is classified as a Class 13 death world?" Crawford and Miller looked at each other in confusion. "What does that mean?" asked Miller. "It means," said Zix, "that of all discovered planets in our database, yours is considered the most dangerous place in the known galaxy." The humans stood in stunned silence as the desert wind blew around them. The meeting room inside the NASA facility was large but felt small with the tension in the air. Captain Crawford and Dr. Miller sat on one side of the table. Commander Zixloren and two other aliens sat across from them, still wearing their protective suits. "Please understand," said Zixloren, "we mean no offense by our protective gear." "No offense taken," said Dr. Miller, though her face showed confusion. "But I don't understand why you need such protection. Our air is breathable, isn't it? The air contains much more oxygen than we are used to," explained Zixloren. "But that is not our main concern." The alien to his right, introduced as Science Officer Trilgzen, spoke up. "Most life-bearing planets in the galaxy are Class 3 or 4. The most dangerous world we have visited before yours was a Class 9 jumbo planet with acid rain and predators the size of your buildings." Crawford leaned forward. "And we're a Class 13. That doesn't make sense. We have dangerous areas, sure, but most of Earth is quite livable." The aliens looked at each other. Even with their alien faces, the humans could see their discomfort. "That is why we came," said Zixloren. "The classification comes from ancient records older than many of our civilizations." Dr. Miller pulled out a notebook. "What exactly do these records say about Earth?" Trilgzen touched a device on his wrist. A small hologram appeared above the table showing strange symbols. "The full entry is short," he said. "It simply states, extreme caution, evolutive apex predators." There is no further explanation. "Predators?" Crawford raised an eyebrow. "You mean humans?" "We believe so," said Zixloren. "But we don't know why your species earned such a warning. The records date back nearly 50,000 of your years." The third alien, Security Officer Krell, spoke for the first time. "Our leaders debated whether to contact you at all. Some feared what we might find." An uncomfortable silence filled the room. Dr. Miller broke it with a suggestion. "Perhaps we should show you our planet, help you understand our world better." "A research mission," agreed Crawford. "We can put together a team of our best scientists to work with yours." Zixloren's four eyes blinked in sequence. "That would be acceptable. We are curious rather than afraid." But Security Officer Krell's posture suggested otherwise. His hand stayed close to a device on his belt that the humans guessed was a weapon. Later that day, Crawford and Miller met with NASA officials and government representatives. They selected 3 more team members: Dr. Peter Gonzalez, a biologist with a friendly smile and patient manner; Dr. Lisa Wells, an anthropologist who specialized in human development; and Dr. Keith Hampton, a geologist with 20 years of field experience. "The aliens seem scared of us," said Crawford during the meeting. "We need to show them we're not the monsters they think we are, or figure out why they think we're monsters in the first place," added Dr. Miller. The next morning, the human team met the aliens at their ship. Zixloren had brought 5 researchers of his own. The humans noticed the aliens flinched when anyone moved too quickly. "We will begin with basic planetary comparisons," said Trilgzen, who would lead the alien scientists. "Physical properties, climate, and biology." As they boarded the alien ship for their first research session, Dr. Hampton whispered to Crawford, "Do they really think we're that dangerous?" Crawford watched as the alien security team kept their distance. "I think they're truly afraid of something. Let's find out what." Inside the ship, large screens showed images of Earth alongside other planets. The differences were immediately obvious. Earth had more land mass, more water, and much more diverse environments than the other worlds. "First," said Trilgzen, "let us discuss your gravity." The screens changed to show numbers and graphs. The aliens watched nervously as the humans studied the data, unaware that they were about to discover the first clue about why Earth was considered the deadliest planet in the galaxy. The screen in the alien ship showed a simple chart. Earth's gravity was nearly twice as strong as most inhabited planets in the galaxy. "You evolved in this?" asked Trilgzen, his voice filled with surprise. "Your bodies developed under such pressure." Dr. Miller nodded. "This is normal for us." "Is gravity much weaker on your worlds?" Yes, said Zixloren. Most intelligent life forms develop on planets with lower gravity. It allows for larger brains and bodies without the stress of weight. Dr. Hampton, the geologist, studied the chart carefully. But this means you're all much weaker than humans when you visit Earth. The aliens grew quiet. Security Officer Krell moved his hand closer to his weapon. Let's move on, said Captain Crawford quickly. What else makes Earth different? The next chart showed temperature ranges across different planets. Earth had the widest variation by far. Most species evolve in stable temperatures, explained Trilxen. Your planet swings from freezing to burning in a single-day cycle. This should make life difficult to sustain. We adapt, said Dr. Gonzalez. Humans can live in deserts and Arctic regions. We've learned to handle extreme conditions. The aliens exchanged glances that seemed worried. Dr. Wells, the anthropologist, tried to lighten the mood. Would anyone like coffee? It's a popular Earth drink. The aliens agreed to try it. When the coffee arrived, Trilxan analyzed it with a small device. This contains caffeine, he said with alarm. That's a powerful toxin. To you, maybe, laughed Dr. Gonzalez. For us, it's just a morning pick-me-up. The aliens watched in horror as the humans drank their coffee. Many things humans eat would kill other species, said Zixloren. Your bodies process toxins as if they were nothing. The research continued with the study of Earth's plants and animals. The aliens were amazed by Earth's biodiversity. 10 million species. Trilxan could hardly believe it. Most life-bearing worlds have fewer than 100,000. The variety of predators alone is frightening. And yet humans became the dominant species, noted Krell. Later that day, the team went outside to collect soil samples. Dr. Hampton used a small shovel to dig into the ground. The sharp edge slipped and cut his finger. Ouch, he said, looking at the small drop of blood on his skin. The aliens backed away quickly, making high-pitched sounds of alarm. What's wrong? Asked Crawford. The red blood, whispered Zixloren. Our ancient records specifically mentioned the red-blooded ones with great fear. Dr. Miller stepped forward. It's just a small cut. Human blood is red because of the iron that carries oxygen. Iron? Said Trilxan with surprise. You have metal in your blood. In a sense, said Dr. Miller. Many Earth creatures use iron this way. The aliens seemed unable to look away from the small red drop. Our blood is blue, said Trilxan. Most species in the galaxy use copper compounds, not iron. Dr. Hampton wiped away the blood and put on a small bandage. Sorry for scaring you. It will heal quickly. How quickly? Asked Trilxan. This small cut. A day or two. The aliens looked shocked again. That healing rate is, Zixloren searched for words. Unnatural. Injuries take much longer to heal for most species. As the day ended, the human team returned to their quarters at the NASA facility. The aliens returned to their ship. They're afraid of us, said Dr. Wells. Have you noticed? They keep their distance and watch our every move. But why? Asked Dr. Hampton. We've done nothing threatening. Dr. Miller thought about the day's discoveries. I think we're learning why Earth is rated so dangerous. It's not just the planet. It's us. Our gravity made us strong. Our varied climate made us adaptable. Even our blood seems scary to them. What happens tomorrow? Asked Dr. Gonzalez. Captain Crawford looked toward the alien ship glowing softly in the night. Tomorrow we compare physical abilities, and I think we're going to surprise them even more. Morning came, and the research team gathered in a large empty room at the NASA facility. The space had been set up with various equipment to test physical abilities. Today we will compare our physical capabilities, said Trilxan. This may help explain the Class 13 rating. Dr. Miller nodded. Let's start with something simple, like running. The aliens looked nervous. Zixloren stepped forward. I should warn you. Our species are not built for your gravity. We will seem very weak to you. That's fine, said Captain Crawford. This is just to understand our differences. They set up a short running track. Dr. Gonzalez went first, jogging at a moderate pace. When Trilgzen tried, he moved slowly and seemed to struggle with each step. "Your gravity pulls me down," he explained, breathing hard. "And your oxygen-rich air burns my lungs." Next came tests of strength. Dr. Hampton easily lifted a 100-pound weight. None of the aliens could move it from the ground. "Now you see why we are cautious," said Zixloren. "In your world, you are much stronger than us." "But surely there are strong species in the galaxy?" asked Crawford. "Yes, but strength usually comes with low intelligence," said Trilgzen. "Your combination of strength and intelligence is rare." Dr. Wells suggested trying an endurance test. The humans explained how early humans used to hunt by chasing animals until they became too tired to run. Persistence hunting. Krell seemed alarmed. "You chased prey until it collapsed from exhaustion." "Some human tribes still hunt this way," said Dr. Wells. The aliens grew very quiet. "No other intelligent species hunts like this," said Zixloren finally. "Most evolved from plant eaters or small hunters. None have your stamina." After lunch, Dr. Wells gave a presentation about human history. She showed images of ancient tools, early settlements, and the development of civilization. When she reached the section on warfare, the aliens reacted strongly. Trilgzen made a strange sound and had to leave the room. Krell watched the images of human battles with wide eyes. "You fight each other?" he asked. "Not just predators, but your own kind?" "Unfortunately, yes," said Dr. Miller. "Human history includes many wars." When Trilgzen returned, Captain Crawford offered to demonstrate some basic self-defense moves. He showed a simple wrist grab escape and a defensive stance. The aliens backed away, clearly disturbed. "Your species evolved to fight," said Zixloren. "You have instincts for combat that most intelligent species lost long ago." Despite the tension, Trilgzen seemed more curious than frightened. Later, he asked Dr. Miller more questions about human biology. "Your ability to sweat is fascinating," he said. "You can control your body temperature while moving. Most species must rest to cool down." "I never thought of sweating as special," said Dr. Miller with a smile. "It allows you to stay active in heat that would kill others," explained Trilgzen. "Combined with your endurance, it makes you extremely efficient hunters." As the day ended, the team reviewed what they had learned. The humans were stronger, faster, and had more endurance than the aliens. They could survive temperature changes, heal quickly, and process toxins that would kill other species. "I think we're starting to understand the Class 13 rating," said Dr. Gonzalez. "From their perspective, we must seem almost like super beings." "Not super beings," corrected Dr. Miller. "Predators. We evolved as pursuit predators with high intelligence. The galaxy doesn't seem to have many species like us." Later that night, Trilgzen approached Dr. Miller alone. He seemed nervous but determined. "There is something else," he said quietly. "Something we discovered in our scans but haven't shared yet." "What is it?" asked Dr. Miller. "Your planet's position in the galaxy exposed it to higher radiation levels throughout your evolution. This forced faster adaptation and created stronger survival traits. Is that unusual?" "Very," said Trilgzen. "But what's truly unique is that your planet had 5 major extinction events, yet life recovered each time, stronger than before." "Why keep this secret from us?" asked Dr. Miller. Trilgzen looked around to make sure they were alone. "Because some in the Galactic Union believe such a species is too dangerous to let into space. But I disagree. I find your kind fascinating." Far from Earth, a dark ship moved silently through space. Its surface absorbed light rather than reflected it. Inside, creatures with sharp teeth and red eyes studied images of Earth and its people. "The humans look weak," said Captain Drek of the Vexkar Sovereignty. "But the Galactic Union fears them." "Why?" "Unknown," replied his second-in-command. "But their planet is rated Class 13. The highest danger level. Captain Drek smiled, showing rows of pointed teeth. Then their biology must be special. The perfect weapon for our armies. The dark ship changed course, heading toward Earth. Back at the NASA facility, the research team prepared for a field trip. They planned to visit the Amazon rainforest to study Earth's biodiversity. The rainforest contains more species than entire planets, explained Dr. Gonzalez as they boarded a transport plane. It's one of Earth's most complex ecosystems. The aliens wore lighter protection suits now, but still moved carefully around the humans. Only Trilxen seemed comfortable, sitting next to Dr. Miller during the flight. "Your oceans also interest me," he said. "So much life in such pressure and darkness." "Maybe we can visit the ocean next," suggested Dr. Miller. The plane landed at a small airstrip near the edge of the rainforest. The heat hit the aliens like a wall when they stepped out. "The temperature and humidity are intense," said Zixloren, adjusting his suit. The team hiked into the forest. Dr. Gonzalez pointed out plants and insects. Dr. Hampton collected soil samples. The variety of life amazed the aliens. "So many predators and prey in one place," said Trilxen. "Always fighting, always evolving." They set up a small camp to stay overnight. As darkness fell, the sounds of the forest grew louder. "Your world never stops," said Zixloren. "Even at night, the struggle continues." After midnight, while most of the team slept, strange lights appeared in the sky. Captain Crawford noticed them first and woke Dr. Miller. "Those aren't stars," he whispered. Before they could wake the others, 5 figures dropped from the sky into the clearing. They were tall with armored skin and glowing red eyes. They carried weapons. "Vexcar," shouted Zixloren in alarm, jumping to his feet. "How did they find us?" The Vexcar leader stepped forward. "We monitored your communications. We came for the humans." "Run!" yelled Crawford to the team. The Vexcar fired their weapons. Strange energy blasts hit 2 of the alien researchers, killing them instantly. Dr. Hampton was hit in the leg and fell, screaming in pain. What happened next shocked the aliens from the Galactic Union. Captain Crawford didn't run. Instead, he charged at the closest Vexcar, moving with unexpected speed. He tackled the creature to the ground and fought for its weapon. Dr. Gonzalez grabbed a heavy branch and swung it at another attacker. The wood connected with the Vexcar's head with a loud crack. "Get to the transport ship," Crawford shouted to the others as he wrestled with the alien. Dr. Miller and Trilxen helped Dr. Hampton, who was bleeding badly from his leg. Zixloren and the surviving researchers ran ahead to prepare the ship. The Vexcar leader aimed at Miller, but Crawford threw a rock that hit the alien's arm, ruining his shot. "They're so fast," whispered one of the Vexcar. The reports were true. After a fierce but short battle, Crawford and Gonzalez managed to drive the attackers back. The Vexcar retreated into their ship and disappeared into the night sky. The team regrouped at their transport ship. Dr. Hampton's wound was serious but not life-threatening. "You fought them," said Trilxen, staring at Crawford and Gonzalez. "You're scientists, but you fought like warriors." "We did what was necessary," said Crawford simply. "Now I understand," said Zixloren quietly. "This is why Earth is Class 13. Not just your physical abilities or your planet's conditions. It's that every human, even your scholars, can become a predator when threatened." As their ship lifted off, Trilxen received an emergency message. The Galactic Union had detected the Vexcar ship and declared an alert. The humans were no longer just a scientific curiosity. They were now in the middle of a galactic conflict. The transport ship flew high above the clouds. Inside, Dr. Miller treated Dr. Hampton's leg wound while the others discussed their next move. "We need a safe place," said Captain Crawford. "Somewhere the Vexcar won't find us easily." Zixloren looked worried. "The Vexcar are hunters. They will track us wherever we go." "I know a research station in the Andes Mountains," suggested Dr. Gonzalez. "Remote, hard to reach. Good place to hide and plan." They changed course toward the mountains. Dr. Hampton winced as Dr. Miller cleaned his wound. "Your species heals so quickly," said Trilgzan, watching with interest. "Already the bleeding has stopped." "Basic human biology," said Dr. Miller. "Nothing special to us." "Everything about humans seems designed for survival," replied Trilgzan. The ship landed near a small stone building nestled between tall mountain peaks. Cold wind blew around them as they carried their equipment inside. "Why do the Vexkar want humans?" asked Dr. Wells once they were settled. "They are warriors who value strength above all else," explained Zixloren. "They likely want to study your biology. Perhaps use your DNA to enhance their soldiers." The group spent the next day setting up security systems and communication equipment. Dr. Hampton rested while the others explored the surrounding area. Trilgzen and Dr. Miller discovered a cave entrance hidden behind large rocks. With flashlights in hand, they went inside. "This cave system might provide an escape route if needed," said Dr. Miller. As they moved deeper, their lights revealed something unexpected. Paintings on the walls. Ancient drawings of strange creatures and stars. "These look old," said Trilgzen, examining the images. Dr. Miller touched the wall carefully. "Very old. Look at these figures. They don't look human." The painting showed tall, thin beings coming from the sky, local people bowing before them, and strange animals that didn't match any known Earth species. Dr. Miller took photos and samples of the paint. When they returned to the station, Dr. Wells examined them. "These could be 25,000 years old," she said with excitement. "And look at these star patterns. They match constellations, but from a different viewing angle, as if seen from another planet." "Are you saying aliens visited Earth in prehistoric times?" asked Captain Crawford. "It wouldn't be the first case," said Zixloren quietly. Everyone turned to look at him. The alien commander seemed uncomfortable. "There is more to the story of Earth's classification that I haven't shared." "Tell us," said Crawford. Zixloren took a deep breath. "In our most restricted archives, there is information about a civilization called the Precursors. They were advanced beyond anything we know today. They traveled the galaxy long before any of our species reached the stars." "What does this have to do with Earth?" asked Dr. Miller. "The Precursors were scientists who experimented with life forms," continued Zixloren. "They created new species and modified existing ones. According to our records, Earth was their main laboratory." A heavy silence filled the room. "Are you saying humans were created by these precursors?" asked Dr. Hampton from his bed. "Not created," said Zixloren. "Modified. Your original ancestors evolved naturally, but the precursors saw potential in your species. They made changes to your DNA." "What kind of changes?" asked Dr. Gonzalez. "They wanted to create the ultimate adaptive species, beings that could survive almost anything and continue to evolve rapidly." Zixloren looked at each human in turn. They were developing weapons. Dr. Wells shook her head in disbelief. "We were weapons. The precursors fought a great war," said Trilgzen. "They needed soldiers who could fight on any world, adapt to any condition." "But something went wrong," added Zixloren. "The precursors disappeared suddenly. Their civilization collapsed, and they left their experiments running, including Earth. The Class 13 designation isn't just a warning about Earth's conditions," said Trilgzen. "It's a quarantine notice about the species living there." Captain Crawford stood up slowly. "So that's why the Vexkar want us. They somehow learned what we really are." "Yes," said Zixloren. "And now we face a bigger problem. Humans were never supposed to reach space. You were supposed to remain contained on Earth." 3 days later, as the team continued their research in the mountain hideout, they received an urgent message from NASA. The Vexkar had launched attacks on major cities around the world. "They're not just after a few humans anymore," said Captain Crawford, looking at the satellite images on their screen. "They want to capture as many as possible." The images showed strange ships over New York, Beijing, London, and other large cities. The Vex car used beam technology to lift people right off the streets. Earth's military forces are fighting back, said Dr. Miller. But their weapons don't seem very effective against Vex car ships. Zixloren received a transmission from the Galactic Union. A defense fleet is on its way, he told the others. But they will take time to arrive. Why is the Union helping us? Asked Dr. Hampton, who could now walk with a cane. According to what you told us, they consider humans dangerous. The Vex car are worse, replied Trilgzen. If they gain human biological advantages, they could threaten the entire galaxy. Dr. Gonzalez studied the attack patterns on the screen. The Vex car are being careful not to kill humans. They want us alive. Captain Crawford paced the room. We can't just wait for help. We need to do something. Like what? Asked Dr. Wells. We're just scientists. Crawford looked at her. Scientists who fought off Vex car attackers in the Amazon. We're more than just scientists. We're humans from a Class 13 Deathworld. The team spent hours planning. They needed to strike back at the Vex car in a way that would count. Dr. Miller suggested targeting the main Vex car ship that seemed to be directing the others. If we could capture it, she said, we might force the others to retreat. Capture a Vex car ship. Zixloren looked shocked. That's impossible, even for humans. But Captain Crawford thought it could work. We just need to get on board. A small team could do it. The next day, a Galactic Union ship arrived to pick them up. The captain, a tall alien named Drell, greeted them coldly. My orders are to take you to safety, he said. The fleet will handle the Vex car. Your fleet is still days away, argued Crawford. By then, the Vex car will have thousands of human captives. Crawford explained his plan. Drell shook his head. No species has ever successfully boarded a Vex car ship during combat, he said. Their security is too strong. No species from a Class 13 Deathworld has ever tried, replied Crawford. After much discussion, Drell agreed to help. His ship would get them close to the main Vex car vessel currently hovering over the Atlantic Ocean. Crawford selected a small team. Himself, Dr. Miller, and Dr. Gonzalez. Trilgzen insisted on joining them. I understand their technology better than you do, he said. You'll need me. As they prepared for the mission, Dr. Miller asked Trilgzen privately, Aren't you afraid to fight alongside humans? We're supposed to be dangerous weapons. Trilgzen touched her arm gently. I've learned something important about humans. Yes, you were designed as weapons, but you've become so much more. You create art, music, and literature. You care for each other. That's not the behavior of mindless weapons. The plan was simple but dangerous. Drell's ship would create a distraction. During the confusion, a small shuttle would deliver the team to the Vex car ship's hull. They would cut their way inside. As they approached the massive Vex car vessel, Crawford looked at his team. Remember, our goal is to take control of the ship, not just fight. We need to reach the bridge. The shuttle detached from Drell's ship and moved silently toward the Vex car vessel. Just before they reached it, the shuttle was spotted. Energy weapons fired at them. Hold on, yelled the pilot as the shuttle shook violently. They crashed into the side of the Vex car ship. The impact was hard, but the team survived. They quickly put on spacesuits and prepared to cut through the hull. Now the real fight begins, said Crawford as he activated his cutting tool. Let's show them what humans from a Class 13 Deathworld can do. The inside of the Vex car ship was dark and hot. Captain Crawford led the way, moving through narrow corridors. Twice they had to hide from Vex car soldiers who marched past. The bridge should be at the center of the ship, whispered Trilgzen, looking at a small device in his hand. But security will be heavy there. Dr. Miller pointed to a side passage. What about accessing their systems from a less guarded area? Trilgzen nodded. The engine control room might work. From there, we could shut down their weapons and transporters. They moved carefully toward the engine room. Along the way, they passed cells holding captured humans. "We need to free them," said Dr. Gonzalez. "First, the engine room," said Crawford. "Then we free everyone." The engine room was guarded by 2 Vexcar soldiers. Crawford and Gonzalez moved with surprising speed, knocking the guards unconscious before they could raise an alarm. Inside, Trilgzan went to work on the control panels. "Their technology is advanced, but I understand the basics," he said. "Give me a few minutes." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. They had been discovered. "Work faster," said Crawford, picking up a Vexcar weapon. "We'll hold them off." The first wave of Vexcar attackers came down the corridor. Crawford and Gonzalez fired the alien weapons, forcing the soldiers back. Dr. Miller found a control panel that closed and locked the door. "I've done it," called Trilgzan finally. "Weapons systems are offline." Now for the transport beams. A loud explosion shook the room. The Vexcar were trying to break through the door. "Hurry," said Crawford. "Done," said Trilgzan. "And I've opened all the cell doors. The captured humans are free." The ship's communication system crackled to life. Captain Drek's angry voice filled the room. "Whoever you are, surrender now. You cannot escape." Crawford pressed a button to respond. "This is Captain Alan Crawford of Earth. Your weapons are disabled. Your prisoners are free. Surrender your ship." There was silence, then a laugh. "One human thinks he can take my ship. You may have disabled some systems, but I still have 500 soldiers." "You forget," said Crawford. "You also have 300 angry humans from a Class 13 Deathworld loose on your ship." As if to prove his point, sounds of fighting echoed through the communication system. The freed humans were fighting back. "We need to get to the bridge," said Crawford. "End this now." They fought their way through the ship, joined by freed humans along the way. Earth's military training proved effective even against alien technology. When they reached the bridge, they found Captain Drek surrounded by his officers. The Vexcar captain was tall and fierce, with red eyes glowing with anger. "You should have stayed on your planet," he hissed. "And you should have left us alone," replied Crawford. The fight was short but intense. The humans, despite having no experience with alien combat, adapted quickly. Their strength and speed surprised the Vexcar. Within minutes, Captain Drek was defeated. Crawford used the ship's communication system to contact the other Vexcar vessels. "Your main ship is now under human control. Retreat or face the same fate." The Vexcar ships began to withdraw from Earth. 1 week later, a grand meeting took place at the United Nations. Representatives from the Galactic Union sat across from Earth's leaders. Commander Zix Loren spoke first. "The Galactic Union Council has debated long about the human question," he said. "Many feared your species should remain quarantined on Earth." Worried murmurs filled the room. "However," continued Zix Loren, "your actions against the Vexcar showed not just your strength, but your wisdom. You fought to protect, not to conquer." Trilgzan stepped forward. "We propose a new classification. Earth will be designated a Class 13 protected world. Your unique evolution makes you both dangerous and precious to the galaxy." "What does this mean for us?" asked one of Earth's leaders. "It means," said Zix Loren, "that humans will be allowed to join the galactic community. You may travel among the stars, but with certain responsibilities. Your potential is too great to waste and too dangerous to ignore." Captain Crawford and Dr. Miller were named Earth's first ambassadors to the Galactic Union. As they prepared for their new roles, Dr. Miller asked Trilgzan a question. "Do you think the galaxy is ready for humans?" Trilgzan smiled in his alien way. "Perhaps not. But I believe humans are ready for the galaxy. You were made as weapons, but you chose to become explorers and protectors instead. That is why your Deathworld may someday be the galaxy's greatest hope."